Okay, the drain is on the way. Water change down here. All these tanks are going to get done. As you can see, I've already shut down the sumps. Sumps are shut down. Water levels are dropped. I don't need the gravel vac today. It's just a straight up water change. You can see I got bubbles lasting. About 5-second bubbles. That's time. That's even though the water's clear, you don't have to wait till it looks tingy or yellow or anything. You just watch those bubbles. A lot of people will probably think that's not a problem, but you know what? The water's on the way. If it's on the way, you should change it. But that's just me. These are Oscars. I could abuse them for quite a long time if I wanted to, but then you're just gonna slow down their growth, which that might be a good idea for Oscars. I don't know. You're also going to give them a hole in the head and all kinds of other problems that you just don't want to deal with. Treating a big fish is very expensive. So you got to put them in a pretty big hospital tank. Like, I would have to stick her in like a 50-gallon tank to treat her, and that's a lot of money in meds just for one fish. So I just don't want them getting sick. So I do my water changes. I run pond level UV, and guess what? Everything, there's no Purigen down here. It's just as clear as the Discus tanks upstairs. I might have wasted my money on the Purigen. I might not have needed it, to be honest. But I wanted to see. And it is pretty damn nice up there now. And I do believe it's added a couple days to my water change cycle. So, but yeah, we're in full drain down here. As you can see, water's flowing into the sink, and this will just keep draining. Stage 1, we leave the bottom tank pump on so that the brown barrel keeps getting refilled while it's being drained. As you can see, the water level's already beginning to drop in that tank. I have the barrel heaters unplugged. These two plugs are unplugged. They are the pumps for this 65-gallon right here and the Oscar tank around the corner. That disconnects them from the circuit. You can see here, even though the 75 gallons draining, this barrel remains relatively full because I'm draining it at 840 gallons per hour, but there's 460 gallons per hour coming in. So by the time I drain that tank, this should be about half empty, a little more than half empty. Then I just drain this one. I'm going to shut off that UV bulb right now for the duration of this. They got switches on them. And that's it. We're just going to let it all drain. It's really not a lot of work to do this water change. It's just a lot of waiting because it's a pretty big volume of water. It takes me about an hour though. And then that's it. It's done for another week. So it's been several minutes, probably in the neighborhood of 20 or so, and this tank is pretty much drained down almost as far as I want it to be. And if you come over here and we look in the barrel, I don't know if you can see down there very well. I wonder if I can turn the light on. There you go. Focus it. You can see the barrel's getting down pretty low too. You're almost exposing the pump. So, what I'm about to do is I'm about to shut off this pump here. And then I'll pull the pump out of that barrel and put it in the blue one, start emptying the blue one out. Then I'm going to drop prime in the brown barrel. I'm going to drop prime in this tank. And I'm going to start filling the brown barrel. By the time the blue barrel is drained, the brown barrel will almost be full. Not even, actually. And then I just gotta wait. Then the brown barrel will overflow into the blue barrel. I will treat the blue barrel as well. Blue barrel will overflow into this tank, fill up this tank. When this tank gets near full, I will re-engage this tank and the Oscar tank. Fresh water will start pumping into those. And then once this one gets up to the top, right up to the top, I'll turn that pump back on, start pumping fresh water into this tank, which will in turn pump this tank's water out into the fresh barrel and start mixing it there, and so on. 20 minutes later, it'll all be mixed up. The temperatures will balance out. Probably be 2 or 3 degrees below what they are right now, and that'll be it. I'll be good for another week down here. Probably 2 weeks, but I'm doing it every week because I like immaculate water. So we'll keep you posted as the water change continues. Could do these live, but it's just a pain in the butt, to be honest, to do lives. And quite frankly, I don't really get a lot of live people watching my stuff live. Most people watch the after show, so might as well just make a video. And after another 20 minutes, we are basically full here and about to start overflowing into the rain barrel here any second. Now that's just a little bit of runoff coming from the Oscar tank, which means it's still primed. And as soon as I kick things back in, just start running all by itself. Same thing's actually happening over here too. And they do. If I just do water change, like, or if the power goes out, everything will kick back in again. I have to do a big disruption, and if I do a big disruption and I break the siphon, then of course I have to restart it. But it's just a quick little, just like a siphon hose, start it up, and then it runs until it's even running now, and it'll run until I start everything back up again. As you can see, water is now falling from barrel A into barrel B, and this barrel will fill up. I got all kinds of biomedia in there. I got tiles, I got old pieces of decor, I got gravels, I got all kinds of pot scrubbies, and even old sponges, anything and everything that could house bacteria I throw in there. I need more pot scrubbies. I could put so much more in this, but it's doing fine with what I got. So in here there's a bunch of gravels and similar things as well. Extra sponges, just to keep seated, all kinds of stuff like that. And so that green barrel will fill, then it will overflow into this lower tank. And yeah, it's really just, like I said, it's a hurry up and wait water change. Little fishies don't know what's going on. We still got our babies back there. I think I just scared them with the spotlight. They still have some down there too. These ones hide better. Anyway, there's the inflow on the Oscar tank. I recognize that sun thing. I got kind of twisted sideways, hooked in here. And it's sending water up in this tank and raising up this water level. And once the weir gets a little higher, it'll all kick back in, and I'll show you that. The water will start overflowing down the blue tube that's in the middle of the weir. The weir is going to fill up, and then the water will start overflowing into it. It's already leveled inside there. Just once this water gets higher than the pipe, that little drop of rain we see on the other side there that was coming out the pipe, that'll just pick up pace and start the siphon all by itself. It's really a cool system, and it's so much easier than the other DIY self-made overflows, like those ones. Okay, you had a pipe on the inside coming down, Then you had it going across just like this, but it was PVC. Then you had one coming up to the top. Then you had the same thing built on the outside to get the water out. And then you had to run a hose, say to your other tank or your barrel or your sump. Okay. This is so much more simple. So much more simple. You just use one piece of tube, because you do have to make the weir, and then you just use the hose up the weir, seal the bottom off down there with silicone, so this is a closed chamber. That way the water has to get up to the top, overflow into it, and then fill the weir up, and then overflow into the hose. That's it. That's how it works. Works like a charm. It's already running, by the way. I can hear it running. Watch. You're going to see it here. It's already running. Where is that? Look at that. Look at that. Oh, it started itself. You see? It's starting itself. See that? I didn't do shit. I just let it fill. Look at that. Already going. Didn't have to do nothing. Down to the other side. Haven't touched it. Haven't touched it. It's flowing perfectly on its own. Huh? How's that for an overflow? Literally, like 20% of the pipe that all the other DIY versions will tell you to use. One run of pipe like this. Same thing here. I put a bend down on the corner so it doesn't pinch. So we get a nice unbent thing with the hose, and then I just run the hose up, out, and into the barrel. Couldn't get more simple. Look, started itself. Good flow rate, everything. There might be, let's see if we got air bubbles even. Let me check. Sometimes I do this just to see if the air bubbles come out. I didn't even get any air bubbles this time. Sometimes there are, then I'll let them out just to make sure I get, no airlocks. But that was just a safety check, and I didn't even need to do it. Didn't even need to do it. So that's how that works. It's just awesome. Now this barrel's almost full. We're filling up this tank, and it's just going to do the same thing. It's almost there now. And that barrel will soon overflow into here, and we're almost done. There it goes. It's starting to overflow right now. Right now. See that? Just starting to get in there. That's going to continue to increase in a second. So we're on our way, folks. Last stage right here. And the water filled up, and there you go. You can see this weir in action now. And this one's a little bit transparent. You can see the white hose and the distance I keep it from the top holes. And that's how it works. So once this tank started overflowing into those holes, that's it. It kicks back in. And we got the flow going off into here. I don't know if you can see it. There, right there. That tank's sending its flow in there. And that's blasting it right into a charcoal bag. And here we go now with this tank filling up, and that tank's filling up with both of this, with this one back to full operation. It's already cycling through the barrels, and it's going to mix its temperature with the barrel water. And we got the same situation going on here. As you can see, the water height has remained stable, and they're getting fresh water too. Their temperature is actually a little up right now because that first barrel was probably a little warmer, but by the time we're done this, it'll be a couple degrees colder. So they're getting a little bit of temperature fluctuation, but they're okay, because as long as your temperature stays within 3 degrees of their norm, you won't hurt them. Water's perfectly clear, and they're only just starting to get the fresh stuff. So we won't see the bubbles improve probably till tomorrow morning or later tonight, after it's thoroughly mixed and all the ammonia has been dealt with and stuff like that.
And I just re-engaged the UV because I don't want to forget it. So it's on now. I turn it off when the bulb goes dry because I just don't know if it's going to cause a problem. It shouldn't matter, but that's what I do. I just shut it off when there's no water running in case it heats up in a bad way. This tank is now that high, and I've just re-engaged the sump. It's filling right there. You can see 430 gallons per hour. Actually, I think it's 460. I keep forgetting. Bad with numbers. Sorry about that. I'm all over the place. I know. Somewhere in that range. 400 plus. Let's call it that. They believe it's 460 on that one. And 840 on the big one that I use on the tanks. So yeah, we're gonna let that go up. It's gonna start overflowing down this white pipe. It's going to increase the flow rate down here substantially, and I gotta watch that it's not so much that this barrel starts to overflow. Might be starting a bit early. If it is, I'll just unplug the sump here, down here. But, I want to get it mixing because, as you can see, the barrel temps are a little warm today. I think it's getting warmer outside. Normally they were colder. This tank's actually should be a few degrees colder right now, and it's on par, which is fine. And yeah, so I'm going to start mixing the water up and keep the temperature golden. Let's see what's happening with the Oscars. And you can see even their temperature is a little high right now. It's half a degree higher than normal because the tap water is actually going in warmer than it has all winter. So I'm going to have to keep my eye on that. But I'm not overheating them, and I'm still within the 3-degree range, whether it's up or down. As long as you're 3 degrees, you won't hurt nothing. Maybe Discus will get upset, but not really. I don't know, I've done it to my Discus, and they've been fine too. But Oscars, they'll handle that, no problem. Let's sneak in a little shot of the Discus towards the end here. Oops, someone pissed someone off. Look at that beautifulness. Clean, baby. Keeping it clean. That's how you do it. See how they behave? All up front. All up front. And although the water's still just mixing, you can see now, instead of having 5-second bubbles, there's a lot of oxygen in the water right now, but the bubbles are popping in just a couple seconds. And once it finishes mixing, like tomorrow morning, they're gonna be instant popping bubbles. Probably even in a few hours. You can see our flow rate into the bottom tank has drastically increased because the top tank is active. And the barrels are taking in a lot. They're taking in their normal water. Plus, and here we go. See, she's getting pretty close to the lip here because it's taking on too much. So I'm gonna unplug it. Yeah, unplug that one. Because I think my flow rate's gonna be just, has to improve a little. Maybe if I pull this out some. That kind of slows things down a bit. I just don't want to mess on the floor. When it's running normal, this is not an issue, but right now I got a hose, and I've got the tank throwing in another 400 gallons. See, even this one's starting to overflow here. And if it gets much higher, it'll run along these and start going on my floor. So we need to ensure I slow things down a bit. I actually stopped it just in time. I got a little too ahead of myself. But now this one's dropping again. And that one is too. And we'll just let that happen. I only got this much left. And I like to fill it right up. I know you're not supposed to because the power goes out, but I do because I get a lot of evaporation with the furnace on. But you can see in the summer, that is my fill line right there. That's my safety fill line, that white mark. So, but I'm going to go a little higher because I haven't lost power in 2 years. It'll happen one day. I just jinxed myself. But yeah. Yep. And this has all gone back down. So I'm going to put that pump back on now. Over here. All the pumps I marked green in case I'm in a coma and someone's watching this to save my fish because I'm hospitalized. I'm gonna make actually a video just in case that ever happens to me, so someone can keep my fish alive if I ever need surgery. That's it. This will fill back up again, and by the time that one fills up, this one will be full and I can shut off the tap. And as you can see, we got that much and then we got this much, so they're going to equalize in just a second here. And I'm actually just about ready to shut the tap off. As soon as I see that one disappear, I'm shutting the tap off. And we should be okay after that. Should be able to call it, I think. Let's see what's happening there. I'm going to shut the tap off now. It's looking pretty good. And we're off. Tap is off. System is running. That should be the end of this. Should be. We don't know if it will be. I really gotta fix up that lid thing I made too. It's freaking looking pretty ugly. The wrap I bought wasn't very sticky. They gave me my money back for it at least because I showed them pictures and said, "What's this?" But I never bought replacement. So that is effectively a completed water change. You can see everything's back in action. Hopefully I haven't killed my babies in some way, but I shouldn't have because the temperatures are good. And the system is primed up real nice. Should just help them grow a little faster. And that is that. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.